Thank you, President Lebron, for that kind introduction. Thank you for Mr. Bloomberg for joining us here today, and thank you for the class of 2018 for enriching my life in ways that I cannot begin to describe. It's an honor to address students, friends, family here, but today it's a particular honor for me because my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. In the first grade, at the age of 7, I was nearly arrested. Yes, nearly arrested. My parents had recently divorced. I had just moved from Michigan to Alabama, and I was sad and angsty, and learning how to adjust to a new culture, specifically learning how to say y'all, was a particular challenge for me. Now, I like to think I was a good kid, studious, energetic, had the same baby face that I do today, but I had a slight moment of disobedience. After an intense session of Pokemon and Legos, my teacher asked me to put away the toys and help clean up. Simple enough. Now, I was comfortable putting away my toys, but I found it pretty crazy that I had to clean up after other people. So, after trying to explain my logic and argue my case on why this was such a grave injustice, she didn't budge. So I looked at her, I looked at the toys, I looked back at her, and I said, no. This went on, and long story short, she proceeded to call the police on me. Seriously, she called the police on me. Now, in a class at Rice, I learned that research shows that pervasive stereotypes linking people of color with criminality can lead to implicit cognitive biases, even in people's interaction with children. A recent New York Times study article shows that people see children of color as less innocent, more adult-like, and so normal childhood behavior like disobedience, tantrums, and backtalk is seen in a larger context of criminal threat. This misperception can cause certain children to be pushed out, over-policed, and overprotected. Now, I bring up this story, to make a bigger statement about current relationship. I don't bring up this story to make a bigger statement about the current relationship between police and the communities they serve. I bring up this story to illustrate a simple point, that the topics and issues of national discourse that we may view as not relevant to our own community, that we may view as too big or too distant to address, these issues are closer than they appear. I'm a personal testament, a physical representation standing on this stage right now, speaking to you, that demonstrates that very specific, often polarizing topics of police-community relationships is so much closer than you might have imagined. Now, the story I gave you is my own personal experience. One page in a larger story that defines my life. One page in a larger story that captures the broad range of experiences of our entire Rice community. Graduates, look to your right, look to your left. Each and every one of your neighbors has been or will be impacted by larger forces, by policies and topics of national discourse that may seem distant. The loss of jobs due to automation, the lack of accountability and underlying culture that makes sexual assault so pervasive, the personal toll of opioid addiction, the pain of anti-immigrant xenophobic rhetoric and the policies that accompany it, the gender pay gap. These are all topics that we see on TV that seem far away, but I'm here today to tell you that A, they are closer than they appear and will impact your neighbors in ways previously unimaginable, and B, we have a vested interest in serving as allies and advocates for our neighbors next to us. I'm here to say that although we will encounter a number of challenges awaiting us beyond the Rice hedges, I'm as optimistic as ever that we're prepared to lead, that we're prepared to amplify each other's voices, and that we're prepared to do these things the right way, through a sense of kindness, through a sense of service, and a sense of community. Former President Barack Obama said that if there's a child who can't read, that matters to me even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen who has to decide between paying for prescriptions and the rent, that matters to me even if it's not my grandparent. It's the fundamental belief that I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this country work. In a way, I think that Rice students already get this message. In the midst and in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, one of the most horrific natural disasters in our country's history, we came together as a community to serve as chefs, to serve as custodians and librarians because the university was understaffed. We've come together to bring about change to everything from academic policy to sexual assault prevention, and we've worked so hard on not only putting our stamps on our academic careers and academic fields, but also on the Rice community and on our residential colleges in particular. This fearless pursuit of change and sense of community to bring about this change is a cornerstone of the Rice experience that we should take with us. We've come to recognize that we're tied together, that we have a stake in each other's success, and that we enter the world here today, we must bring a sense of optimism, fearlessness, an unshakable sense of common humanity in the new frontiers that we face. Moving forward, we must continue to reject hate, divisiveness, and cynicism in all of its forms. We must continue to reject the idea that in order for you to win, I have to lose. And we must continue to reject the idea that those that are silent, those that do not have a voice, do not deserve to speak. This community, this country, this world is so capable, so much more capable of change than we may have previously imagined. Indeed, we are so much more capable of being that change than we would have ever imagined. Class of 2018, as you continue to look out for your neighbor, as you continue to remain fearless, as you continue to serve as sparks that ignite change, I hope that you have an amazing time on the journey ahead. Congratulations and good luck.